of people who thought themselves to be Shia. They thought themselves to be Shia of the Ahlul Bayt. They went to Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam had established what we consider to be the first Hawza Ilmiya. The first official Hawza Ilmiya, where he had 4,000 students. Or at least the peak of it at the time, it had been the Imam of Imam Ja'far Sadiq, there were 4,000 or 14,000 students. 4,000, sorry, correction. The Imam alayhi salam, at the time of teaching, people came to him and he must have been giving a bayan about the hujjah and the circumstances and how the world will be full of peace and prosperity. So this group came to the Imam, led by an individual. He said to the Imam, why must we wait for the hujjah to come? You are an Imam Masoom, you are Hujjatullah fi ardah. We don't have to wait for the Mahdi. You be the Mahdi. Don't you say that all you Ahlul Bayt are the same? You be the Mahdi. The Imam said to him, okay, I'll be the Mahdi. But the Mahdi needs supporters. That is the only criteria the Imam is waiting for. Supporters. That's all he needs. That's all any of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam needed. Anytime someone came to the Imams alayhim salam and they said, get up, let's fight, let's do something, let's make a change in the world, let's oppose this oppression, let's oppose injustice, the Imam alayhi salam will say, go get me an X amount of people and we will rise. I need a certain group of people, I need a pedigree. So these group of people, they said to the Imam, well, we are here, you need people with us. We're armed to the teeth, we're ready to go. The Imam alayhi salam says to him, hold on. Let me ask you a question. لو كان لديك كيسا, if you had a bag, and in this bag is all that you possess in this world. Everything that is yours is in this bag. And one of your friends who you've brought to me, you brought them, I didn't bring them, you brought these people. One of your friends who you brought to me, once in a state of need, and he couldn't find you, and what he needs is in that bag, and for you, you don't need it. MashaAllah, you've got so much. So he put his hand in there, took what he needed. How would you feel when you find out? He said, what kind of a person takes from me without asking my permission? The Imam says, okay, take your people and leave, please. This is why leave? He says, Al-Bakhilu bimalihi abkhalu bidamih. The one who is stingy with his wealth will most certainly be stingy with his blood. He said, I don't get it, Imam. What do you mean? He said, what do you want? You want the Mahdi, yes? Yes, I want the Mahdi. What is the Mahdi going to do? The Mahdi is going to fill the world with peace and prosperity. What does peace and prosperity mean? It means that no oppression. What is oppression? That means there's no poverty, there's no one in need. Everybody will be living, not an equal life, but equal circumstances, that we all have an opportunity in life to achieve whatever we want to achieve. I just asked you, if there is a person who is in need, would you give him? You said no. Then you don't want peace and prosperity. You're telling me, rise, let's go fight, and fighting requires you to kill or be killed. You say to me that you want to go and fight so that you may establish peace and prosperity. And I'm telling you, you don't need to die to do that. You just need to give some money to the poor. And you said, no, I don't want to give money to the poor. Of course you're going to be stingy then when I say to you, give your life to the poor. The idea is that if we really want Al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan ajalallah ta'ala to hasten towards us, then we should act in a way as if he is amongst us. Yes? We should act in a way as if he is amongst us. I want the Imam to bring about peace and prosperity. I want the Imam to bring about equality and justice. Then I should be equal and I should be just in how I treat my family. Charity begins at home. I should have justice, divine justice, mind you. Divine justice to my parents. وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفًّا. Don't even sigh in their face, right? Some of us, waliyadu billah, it's reached a point where we curse at our parents. Waliyadu billah. Waliyadu billah. This is truth. Where we curse at our parents. And then we stand up, Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-hujjat ibn al-Hasan. What's the point? Isn't it so? Some of us will walk past a poor person, I would say, Allahumma hasten their appearance so that this guy doesn't suffer anymore. But you have money in your pocket. You should give the person money, right? At least go buy them some food. If we really want the Imam to come and fill the world with peace and prosperity, then we should begin to work towards that today. Not wait for the Imam to arrive and then we change ourselves. You see, the Quran is beautiful in its linguistics. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. The righteous, they give from what we have given them. If Allah gave you $10 today, that's your sustenance. It doesn't matter if Wells Fargo ATM gave you the $10. It came from Allah, right? That's our yaqeen. He is the raziq, He is the sustainer. If Allah gave me $10 today, I should donate from that $10 today. I shouldn't sit there and say, inshallah, when I win that 1.5 billion lottery, then I'll start building a mosque, and I'll start contributing to the community, and I'll help the poor. No, give from what you have now. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. From what we have given them, they give. Allah blesses those people in the Quran Kareem. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Blessed are those who set aside a portion for the poor of their earnings before they receive their earnings. It's in the Quran. I know, come the end of this month, I'm going to get $900. I've already made a niyyah with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that an X amount of that 900 is going to the poor. So therefore, in my mindset, I'm not going to make $900 this month. I put it in my mind and I budget for the month that I'm only making 800 because 100 I'm already giving to the poor. That is how those who anticipate the dhuhur of the hujjah should be thinking. We should be working towards the objective of the Imam. The adala of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which will manifest itself in the Imam, ought to be manifested long before the Imam arrives. Because it is the second thing that we have to believe in as Muslims, especially for the youth, just a reminder. The first thing that we have to accept as believers, before nubuwwah, before Imam, before we even come to the realization that there is a day of judgment, we have to acknowledge the first and foremost of belief, as Amir al-Mu'mineen says, is to acknowledge Him, to acknowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the first acknowledgement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Tawheed. But immediately after Tawheed is Adala. I have to have yaqeen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is adl, He is just in all that He does. Mind you, the 5 pillars of this faith, or the 5 principles of this faith, we cannot do taqleed of anyone. You cannot go to a marja'iyya and say, what is your fatwa on Tawheed? There is no fatwa on Tawheed. Tawheed, Adala, Nubuwwah, Imama, and Mi'ad are the 5 things which you have to come to realization rationally. Because these are all things which can be proven scientifically. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He wants to prove His existence, what does He say? He doesn't say to us, go and ask the Maulana. No. He says, look at the heavens, how they've been constructed without pillars. That's science. Look at how the human was created. That's biology. Look at the shifting of day and night and look at the stars. That's astronomy. Allah is calling upon us to become knowledgeable through the different sciences that we may recognize Him and realize Him. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And none shall fear Allah like the scholars. Ulama, scientists, they're the ones who truly fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because they're the ones who've seen, the forensic evidence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're the ones who have witnessed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there. Einstein himself testified to the adala of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after that, everybody said the guy lost his marbles, he became a lunatic. Because you've got to understand, at the peak of atheists, or at the peak of this scientific revolution where science became everything and God was persona non grata, He's no longer welcomed at our dinner table, you have the leading mind that says, in everything that I have witnessed, there is the sign of one creation, or one mind behind it, one creator. The moment he said this, and he said this at, I think it was the Geneva Convention, as soon as he said this, the whole world said, the guy lost his marbles, and that's why you see every image of Einstein, he's always looking, his hair is all over the place, his tongue is out, he looks a bit crazy, and that's the image, by the way. That's what they want to portray. Right? We're living in an age where, like I said, anything that is related to God can be discredited easily with science, but you're not supposed to use science to discredit Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Science is forensics. Forensics is not used to disprove the existence of a thing. Forensics is used to prove the existence of a thing. And Allah has been telling us forever, use forensics to prove that I exist. And therefore we have to understand that the adala of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not just adala in the way that we understand adala. Adala that we understand it is just amongst humans. No, Allah is adl in everything that He does. Allah is just in everything that He does. The heavens are created with justice. That's what He says in the Quran Kareem. The earth was created equal and just. That means everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, He's created it to a perfect being. Complete perfect being. And set for it a perfect course, and it's down for everything to follow that course except human beings. We are the only ones who have been given a choice whether we follow the course or whether we deviate. Adala means to put a thing in its rightful place. That's all adala means. Dhulm, on the other hand, means to put something in a place where it doesn't belong. That's it. That's dhulm. Zalamtu nafsi, people think, well, how have I sinned? How have I committed a crime against myself? Because you put yourself in a situation which Allah never intended for you. You put yourself in a situation which Allah never intended for you. You're speeding, you get into a car accident, the first person you blame is Allah. No, blame yourself. Allah didn't do injustice to you. You were unjust to yourself. The speed limit clearly said 30 miles an hour and you were doing 60. That's dhulm. You did not follow the laws. You did not use the vehicle the way it was ought to be used. And therefore you put yourself and you put other people in harm's way. Now God takes the blame for that? No, you can't. You have to be just. You are to blame for that. You live an unhealthy lifestyle. Wal-iyadu billah, you get, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never inflict any of us with it, but you get cancer, for example. People start to say, well, where is the justice of God? And this is a really, one of the most, how can I say it without being disrespectful? It's a flawed argument. People in this day and age come and say, if God is just, then why is there suffering in the world? That's not God's problem. That's not God's problem. The suffering in the world is our problem. Allah didn't make nuclear bombs. Allah good, He made the sun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't, deny anyone water. Rain goes wherever it goes, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just in all that He does. Oppression stems from us. And therefore, when we understand this, we have to also understand that it doesn't mean Allah is going to send the Imam, Ajalallah ta'ala Faraj al-Sharif, and the Imam will bring about justice. No. It's not Allah's responsibility to put justice, and it's not the Imam's responsibility to put justice. It's their responsibility to guide us towards it. But it's our responsibility to act upon justice. It's our responsibility. We want justice, we just don't know how to get to it. And therefore the Imam is called Al-Hadi al-Mahdi. He is guided by Allah to guide us. The Imam, Hadi means to be guided, and Mahdi, or Hadi means the guide who guides others, and Mahdi means he himself is guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, when the Hujjah Ajalla Ta'ala Faraj al-Sharif comes to us, he's going to guide this innate desire within us to establish justice. Where do we go to learn justice today? If we go to university and we're learning the laws of, the science of politics, we're going to graduate like every other politician does, right? So we need a true source, someone who truly understands the Quran Kareem, someone who truly understands Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, someone who truly understands the system of the creation of the world, the purpose of creation, and that will be the Mahdi. But the Mahdi is not going to come and waste his time and talk and talk and talk when nobody listens. He needs an audience. He needs people who are willing, people who have a desire at least, to establish justice, peace and prosperity. And that's where we come in as the community of the Ahlul Bayt. And that's where we come in as human beings, first and foremost. Is that we must desire justice, and we must work for that justice in our everyday. In our everyday, we must work for that justice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran Kareem, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, O you who believe. He didn't say, O you who are Christian, O you who are Jewish. He didn't say, Ya ayyuhan nas, Ya ayyuhal ladhina aman. He's talking to a specific group of human beings. You who claim to have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fulfill your covenants. Ahad is a covenant. Allah says, fulfill the covenant. Now we turn around and we say, okay, well that covenant, what is it? That covenant is when I give my American Express to the hotel, and they say, well, you know, this is how much we're going to charge you to be in the hotel. Okay, fine. What is the transaction? When we actually look at the transaction, what is it? The hotel is lodging. I'm there because I need a bed to sleep for the night. I need shelter. So I'm giving you 120 is what you asked for. Here's your 120. You give me the key to the room. Part of this ahad, part of this contract is that I leave this place the way I found it. Not one of that mentality where I'm like, well, it's not my house, I'm going to leave the whole place a mess. That's breaking the covenant. I rent a car. When I rent a car, I should drive it the same way I drive my car. Not drive it recklessly and say, well, that's a rental, who cares? You know, I'm not going to pay for the damages. No. It's an ahd, it's a contract. I go to school, I have a contract in school. Especially the youngsters, you have to understand that Allah will hold us accountable for every contract that we break. When I go to school, I have a contract that there is a teacher who probably could be earning a better wage, but they are passionate about the next generation to come, so therefore they want to educate others. This teacher, there is a contract between me and the teacher. Whether I signed it or I didn't sign it, the fact that I am present in the classroom means I have agreed to this contract. My presence is an agreement. When I am in school, there is a contract that the teacher will pass knowledge, I should record that knowledge, and then I will be tested, and it is a requirement for me to pass that test. Therefore, I shouldn't be staying up till 4 in the morning playing Fortnite, or I should be staying up till at least 2 in the morning revising, yes? I shouldn't be spending my time on the PS or on Instagram and so on and so forth, because that's not the contract which I have. This is a breach of contract right now. Right? When I turn to work, I go to work, I am being paid an hourly wage. That hourly wage is for me to render a service to the owner of the business, that through this time that I am with them, I am making them money. Part of that money which I am making them comes to me a percentage that will be considered my wage. Not that I sit in the office on, talking to my friends on my phone all the time, and as soon as the manager comes, hey, how's it going now? I'm typing on the computer as if I'm working. No. Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When he's in office, Talha and Zubayr come up to him. Talha and Zubayr, for those of us, it serves as a good reminder to understand where they were with Ali ibn Abi Talib. Talha and Zubayr were amongst the people who were in the house of Fatima when it was attacked. They were so loyal to Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam that they refused to give their allegiance to anybody else. And mind you, Talha is the nephew of Abu Bakr. It's his nephew. He's the cousin of Aisha. He refused to give bay'ah to Abu Bakr because he was in Qadir and he knew that Khilafah and Imamah belongs to Ali ibn Abi Talib. And he remained on this course. And he didn't give bay'ah to any of the 3 Khalifas. Neither did Zubayr. They waited until Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib became Khalifa. What they saw with the other Khalifas before them is that the supporters and the loyal fan base for those Khalifas would get positions in political offices, lands, titles, deeds, and so on and so forth. So when Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam becomes the Khalifa and the Imam, he's in the office, they come to him because they want to see what's in it for us. We've been with you all this time. I think it's about time you reward our loyalty. They walk in, they say, Assalamu alaikum Amir al-Mu'mineen, can we have a conversation with you? The Imam says, yeah, sure thing. private, or is it pertaining to the affairs of the Muslim community? Is it a public discussion or is it a private discussion? They said, no, it's a private discussion. He said, okay, 1 second. Puts out the candle, lights up a second candle. What was wrong with that candle? They both were just the same. The Imam says that candle was purchased with the taxpayers' money. With the taxpayers' money. Zakat, khums, sadaqah, these are our taxes as Muslims. This was bought with the taxpayers' money that I may administrate their affairs of the community. You want to talk to me about a private matter. Therefore, I will use a candle that was purchased by my estate, my private money. Some of us, I remember, at least growing up, when there was no such thing as unlimited calls. Right? Our friends would be like, hey, I'll call you back when I'm at work. Why? Because I'm using the work phone. That's not what it's for. That's a breach of conduct. That's a breach of a contract. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to us, in whatever contract you have, fulfill that contract. And therefore, the first adala is that we at least fulfill the contract with a normal human being. If I can't fulfill a contract with a normal human being, how can I fulfill a contract with Hujjatullah fi al-ard? Yes? We have a bay'ah with the Imam. In one of the ziyaras of the Imam, we say, oh Allah, and we put our hand on our neck. We say, oh Allah, here is a bay'ah, here is a covenant between me and the Hujjah. Because I can't shake his hand, I'm carrying it on my neck, carrying it on my shoulders, a burden. Fi unuqi. Fi unuqi is a term of expression in Arabic which means that if I breach this thing, you can cut my head off from my neck. Right? I'm willing to die for this covenant, I'm willing to sacrifice everything for this contract. I cannot fulfill a contract with a normal human being. How am I going to fulfill a contract with the Hujjah of Allah? That aside, what kind of an image am I portraying about the Imams who I claim to be a follower of? If I'm breaching every contract, if I'm the worst mechanic in the area and people say, hey, don't go to Muslim mechanics, they cheat you, they rip you off. Someone literally said this to me in Florida. Don't go to a Muslim, I don't know, for some reason they thought I was Spanish. They said, don't go to Muslim, these Mohammeds, they're really bad, they rip you off. He had one bad experience with one person. Probably the guy's not even a practicing Muslim, right? But that one bad experience left you with these group of people, 5 friends. He said, never ever go to a Muslim mechanic. They're crooks, they'll cheat you. You see, these small things which we do, which we think are insignificant, and we make a quick dollar here, a quick dollar there, that's not where it ends. It ends with an attack directly on Islam. It ends with an attack directly on the Ahlul Bayt. And that is why Imam Hussain alayhi salamullah, when we see Sayyid al-Shuhada, when he went to Karbala, the Imam alayhi salamullah left from Medina to Mecca and from Mecca to Karbala. The narrations tell us that when he left Mecca, he had 40,000 people that gave him bay'ah. 40,000. How many did he reach Karbala with? 72. Those 40,000, why did they leave him? By choice? Or did the Imam push them away? We can say that the Imam pushed them away. Not in the sense that the Imam doesn't want them to partake in the ultimate reward and thawab and ajr that is to be in Karbala. No. The Imam is filtering. The Imam is filtering that you will be detrimental to my cause. I can't have you. You're going to damage this mission. I can't have you. Even until Yawm Ashura, the night before Ashura, Imam al-Hussain, with the 72, he extinguishes the lights and the lanterns, and he says to them, here is the night, take it as a camel. Go, leave. And if you're ashamed that people will say you abandoned me, take a family member with you. And say, look, his own family left him. The same reason the Hujjah is not with us today. It's a filtering process. Just because my name is a name of an Imam or a Shia name, or because I was born a Shia, or because I'm from Iran, or I'm from Iraq, or I'm from Bahrain, or I'm from a part of the world that is predominantly known as Shia, or that I do Matam of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salamullah, or that I cried for Imam al-Hussain alayhi salamullah, or that I attended a majlis for Imam al-Hussain alayhi salamullah, that's not sufficient for the Hujjah to arrive. Let me put it to you this way. The Hujjah is waiting for 313, yes? Every year the Hawza Ilmiya produces 1,000 scholars. Let that sink in for a moment. Every year the Hawza Ilmiya produces at least 1,000 Mu'ammamin. Every year. And that's not Najaf and Qom combined. I'm just giving you one. 1,000. Where is the Hujjah? 30 million people are walking towards Karbala right now. Where is the Hujjah? We have an entire Shia nation known as the Islamic Republic of Iran. Right? Where is the Hujjah? We have 80% Shia in Iraq. Where is the Hujjah? 80% in Bahrain. Where is the Hujjah? Kuwait. Where is the Hujjah? What is the Imam waiting for? We have to ask ourselves. What is the Imam waiting for? We're not waiting for him. He is called Al-Muntadar. He is the one in a state of waiting. We're not waiting for him. He's waiting for us. So what is he waiting for? This change. Inshallah, we'll look into the answers in the following nights, but it's something that we should all think about when we go home tonight. On that drive home, think, what can I do today, not tomorrow, right now, what can I do today to help the Imam Ajjallah Ta'ala Sharif get here sooner? This is the beauty of Karbala. You don't need to work years and years to join the ranks of the Imam or to be with the Imam. You don't need to. Hur alayhi salamullah in a moment joined the Imam's caravan, yes? In a moment. And mind you, Hur alayhi salamullah didn't just walk up to the Imam, no. If you look at the description of the Maidan of Karbala, there's 35,000 on one side, and they have a tent which is called the tent of command, or the command tent, which is where all the generals meet. Hur was the first general in Karbala, yes? The first general in Karbala is Hur. He's the one who first met with Imam Hussain before the remainder of them came. Where is Hur? He's in the command tent. Where is the command tent? It's right at the back of the army, so that if there is an attack, they are the last to be defeated. Because that's the brain of the whole situation. Hur alayhi salamullah fought his way through all the army of Yazid until he reached Imam Hussain alayhi salam. It wasn't easy. But it was in that one moment, he said to himself, what can I do to be of service to this Imam? What nusra can I give to this Imam? Right now is the time for me to make that decision. What can I do to help the Imam? He didn't say, well, you know, it's just me by myself, 35,000. Let them kill him and then I'll go and be a scholar and educate the people. He said, what can I do right now to change the situation of this Imam? We equally must ask ourselves, what can I do to change the situation of this Imam? Because at least Imam al-Hussain had 72, but if you look at the world right now, we have 7 billion people on one side and one Mahdi on the other side. That's it. How do I move from 7 billion to this one person? How do I join him? The first thing that I can do to join him is to educate myself. Educate myself on what does Allah want from me as a human being? Why was I created? Where do I get this knowledge from? I go to the Quran. The first thing that we have to engage with as Shia of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salamullah is the Quran al-Kareem. إِنِّي تَارِكٌ فِيكُمُ الثَّقَلَيْنِ. Sorry, إِنِّي كِتَابُ اللَّهِ وَعِتْرَةُ الْأَهْلِ الْبَيْتِ. I am leaving amongst you two weighty things. The Book of Allah, first and foremost. وَعِتْرَةُ الْأَهْلِ الْبَيْتِ. Because without the Book of Allah, we will never understand what the Ahlul Bayt want from us, nor how we can get to them. It will be impossible. The example will be like walking at night time with our eyes closed. There's no light, and on top of that, our eyes are closed. But we want to reach a destination. How will we reach? You need a map, right? So therefore, we must refer to the Quran Kareem. If the one thing that you do today or tonight is anything else, engage with the Quran Kareem. Specifically, engage with Surah Al-Kahf. Specifically, engage with Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18 in the Quran Kareem. Because Surah Al-Kahf plays an important role in our time, in that Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam narrates from Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He narrates to us one thing from Rasulullah is that even if you read the last 10 ayat of Surah Al-Kahf, the last 10 ayat of Surah Al-Kahf, on a Friday night, you will be saved from the Dajjal and from Ya'juj. You will be saved. This is Rasulullah speaking, not me. You will be saved from the Dajjal and Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. Now, we believe that these are three ideologies which govern the world. Maybe we're living the time now. Maybe it's a time to come. Allah knows best. But the idea is that in the time of the Ghaiba, these are the 10. This is the surah which is very beneficial for us. Number one. Number two, it also ties in with Imam Hussain alayhi salam. On nights such as these, when they brought the Ahlul Bayt and the women of Karbala to Sham, and they brought the head of Imam Hussain alayhi salamullah upon the spear, whilst the head of Imam Hussain alayhi salamullah was on top of the spear, he was reciting repetitively the verse from Surah Al-Kahf, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Am hasibta anna ashab al-Kahfi wal-Raqim kanu min ayatuna ajaba. Did you think that the sleepers in the cave who came back to life are a mystery from our sides? There was an elderly man who heard Imam al-Hussain alayhi salamullah as he was repeating these verses. And he says, no, ya ibn Az-Zahra, nothing is more astonishing than you. There is nothing more astonishing than Abu Abdullah Hussain alayhi salam. In his generosity, in his compassion, in his leniency. So much so that even when Shimr al-Na'in was sitting on the chest of Imam al-Hussain, Imam al-Hussain was still trying to save him, saying to him, oh Shimr, do not be cursed by the people, nor place yourself in the depth of Jahannam. The arrow which has penetrated my heart is a mortal wound. I will die in just a few moments. So save yourself. I can't be saved now, I'm dead, khalas. But save yourself in the dunya and the akhirah and do not do what you're about to do. But that La'in ibn La'in did what he did in Karbala, wounding the heart of Zainab al-Kubra. See, Ashura is for Imam al-Hussain, yes? Yawm Ashura is for Hussain. But Arbaeen is for Zainab. Arbaeen is for Zainab. Arbaeen is for Zayn al-Abidin. Arbaeen is for Imam al-Baqir. And for the atrocities which they had witnessed in Sham. They asked Imam Zayn al-Abidin, Ya ibn Rasulullah, what was the most difficult thing for you that you witnessed in Waqi'at al-Taf? He said, Ash-Sham, Ash-Sham, Ash-Sham. They said to him, why, Ya ibn Rasulullah, why do you weep so much for Sham? Death for you is a normal thing, everyone in your family died. And the honor from Allah is that every one of you died as a shaheed. He says to him, yes, by Allah, death is normal for us. And the honor from Allah is that every one of us is a shaheed. But tell me, by Allah, when was it normal that the daughters of Fatima to Az-Zahra sit in a place where alcohol is consumed and the wine is placed on the head of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain? Yes, Yazid La'natullah alayhi would drink and he would place the cup on the head of Sayyid al-Shuhada, Abu Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salamullah. This is the atrocities which the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salamullah had to witness. But one atrocity more than any other atrocity is the day that they returned. The day that they returned on Arbaeen to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, the narrations tell us that Zainab alayhi salam, when they were making their way back, they came to a crossroad. And the person who was leading the caravan, the guide, he came to a crossroad, he turned to Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam. And he said to him, Ya ibn Rasulullah, we are at a crossroad. If we turn this way, we will get to Medina Rasulullah. And if we go this way, we go towards Karbala. Which
which way do you want to go? Do you want to go back to Karbala or do you want to go back to Medina Rasulullah? Imam turns around to Zainab al-Kubra alayhi salam, Allah says, Amma Zainab, where do you want to go? Do you want to go back home or do you want to go to Karbala? She says, take me to where my heart longs to be. Take me back to Abu Abdullah. Yes, she is a sister who didn't even get to bury her brother. She never got to see him. Immediately they rushed her off to Yazid la'natullah alayhi so that they could get their reward. This is the first time Zainab returns to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. This is the first time that she returns to Abu Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salamullah. But Zainab alayhi salam, the narration says, as soon as her eye fell on the grave of Abu Abdullah Hussain alayhi salamullah, she fell from the back of the camel to the floor. She ran towards the grave of Abu Abdullah, but she trips and she falls and she trips and she falls until she gets to him. What is the first thing that she says to Imam al-Hussain alayhi salamullah? Udhran sayyidi wa mawlai. Forgive me, my master Abu Abdullah. Why? What are you asking forgiveness for, O Zainab alayhi salam? She says, forgive me, when you left you gave me Sakina alayhi salam. Sakina, you said to me, take care of her, Abu Abdullah. I left her in Sham, buried her there. I did not bring her back with me, so therefore I ask you for your forgiveness.
إلهي وسيدي ومولاي نقسم عليك بحق فاطمة وأبيها وبعدها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيه عجل وليك الفرج وسهل المخرج واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره والداعين إلى سبيله والذابين عنه المستشهدين بين يديك حق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم شافي كل مريض، اللهم اغفر لموتانا، اللهم احفظ اخواننا واخواتنا، اللهم احفظ حجابنا بحجاب زينب يا ارحم الراحمين. Allah, special dua for Sayyidah Rifat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give her the speediest of recoveries يا ارحم الراحمين. بحق علي كربلاء، بحق بمار كربلاء، بحق إمام زين العابدين يا الله اشفي وشافي وعافي كل مريض. We say 5 times أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويشفي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويشفي السوء. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف 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 السوء. اللهم الله من صلوات الله.